Hey, hello, people of the internet. Welcome to Pantsless Table's secret second Blades of the Dark stream. Whoa, whoa! We had so many applications for this game that Steve and I was just like, yo, what do we do? What do we do? And as a closet masochist, I decided, let's DM another group and have two groups, two crews active at the same time in the same city. So let's go.
Fucking go.
Well, there was a bit of an introduction to Duskwall in the previous session, but we shall go into it again. The world of the Shattered Isles is a very, very dark place because 1,000 years ago, the sun exploded or imploded. No one's entirely sure, but all that remains of the once glowing ball of fire in the sky is now smoldering embers that seem to drift in the sky. At the same time, as the world is plunged into eternal night, the moon somehow still shines and seems to be any old trooper would say that seems to be getting closer and closer every year. Another thing that happened was all of the waters of this world turned into ink black soup, which killed off most of the things that live in it. Now it is instead inhabited by massive leviathans that have come from somewhere else. And did I mention that the gates of the dead opened as well? Yeah. All of the dead that were interred or laid to rest in the ground woke up, and any sentient creature that dies will create a ghost. And a lot of things happened in the 1,000 years since then. But the coming back to the story itself, what will transpire will mostly happen in the city of Duskwall, a city that has been built on top of itself for the past 1,000 years and is now protected from the death fields by walls of lightning that are powered by demon blood. And that is a hell of a metal sentence to kind of describe the setting. And it is in this smoky, murky, uh, Gothic Victorian city that we will plunge ourselves into. The spires and the chimneys blurt out all manner of smoke, and a light mist does come from the canals that spread through. The only light comes from electric lights that are powered again by the electroplasm that is hunted from the leviathans. And the spark lights take care of all that and a lot of other things. But it is a city that is rooted deeply in classism, in a lot of bad things that comprise the wanted system of capitalism. And as a glowing scion of this system, every inch of the city is already owned by somebody else. And our newest crew will only have to fight tooth and nail for every single one. But as we go into that, let me give my beautiful players an introduction, chance to give themselves a few words, who you are, where you could find, where people on the internet could find you, and who you'll be playing. Let's start with. Denver, you are first on my screen, so let's start with you.
Hey y'all, I'm Denver. Usually use she, they pronouns. You can find me when I'm not here on Blue Sky as Dendinius. I am playing Vey Corvus Lamond, who is our Whisper.
Let's go, Toshi.
Hey everyone, so I'm Toshi, and you can find me at Instagram at Coffee and Tosh. And I'm going to be playing William Trush, a student and a crafter.
All right, let's go, Urvi.
Hi, hello, I'm Urvi Fitz. My pronouns are they, them, and you can find me across the internet as Caesar Slod, or you can just type in Urvi Fitz. I'm the only one out there. Other than finding me here, you can find me at Shattered Tabletop Gaming on the third Thursday, every Thursday of this year, where we'll be playing the Wild Sea. But that's not that's a fun little wholesome game, and that's not what we're going to be doing today. I'm going to be playing the Hound for you. Their name is Biv, and she's just a weird little guy. I do want to make my personal stance of ACAB very clear, though, before this game starts. ACAB.
It's AB.
The next person, Steve.
Oh, hi. Yeah, it is I, Steve Sir Pants. Among other things, I am here to produce, as always, and also to play. And let me just get the name right. Samba Big Mob Daddy Falcone. Right. I am the fuck. What am I playing? The Slink.
Spider.
The spider.
You're playing the spider.
Fuck me. Of course. I don't know what my play sheet looks like, because who does prep for games, right? What is prep? What does that even mean?
You read
Anyway,
the character sheet. It's in front of you, Steve.
no, I'm just fucking around. Of course, I know who I'm playing. And yeah, very excited to be able to produce this second game that totally nobody knew about except for the 14 people involved. Yeah.
Let's go. And last but certainly not least, Zahn.
Hey guys, I'm Zahn. My pronouns are he, him. I don't really have much of a social media presence. You cannot find me anywhere. For now. I'm playing Fenzin, but you can call me Voodoo.
Let's go.
Miss Callum.
Joe, I haven't missed
It's
Callum.
okay.
I was
I'm
going for
clearly
Callum.
doing my job right.
This is true.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah.
It's all right. It's fine. It's my job to remind everyone I exist, which is what I'm doing right now. Hello, everyone. My name is Callum. My pronouns are they, them, and nu. I am playing Teleri Oh my god, words failing me. I am playing Teleri Pridwen Cadwalada, who goes by the alias Kigvan, or translated into English, Raven. She is the Lurk. You can find me on the internet as Theatre Callum most places. Remember the K and the Callum, or you won't find me. That's everything. Oh, starting not this week, but the week after, every Thursday night, you can find me running Vampire the Masquerade for House of Dreams.
Yeah.
And that's not going to be stressful as hell. That's everything. Oh, Teleri's pronouns are they and she.
Hey, let's go. I started the game with a DM fuck up, so let's hope that's going to be the last one for now. But yes, this is the gathering of beautiful people who will be at my table. And for this game of Blades in the Dark. But without further ado, let us dive in and start weaving the tale that we will. It is a clear night. It's the clearest it's been in a long time. The massive moon shines down, and it is largely quiet, except for the occasional scream, thud, and wail of spirit crows that goes out in the stinking cesspool that is Duskwall. As we move through the murky streets, let's ask our players, where do we find them as they get ready for this day, this most momentous day? Tileri, where would we find you, and what would you be doing?
Is it early in the morning?
It's it is morning, though there is no indication of it outside because hey,
Tileri is sneaking out of a furniture store where she spent the night. As she likes to sneak into furniture shops and sleep on the beds for sale after closing. And she wakes up and loosely remembers that I'm meant to be meeting up with these other people who've bothered me into doing work for them. I guess some fancy mansion. Now that sounds fun. I like a fancy mansion. I can't wait to see what kind of silks and liveries are in there. It's going to be lovely. It's going to be a really nice estate, and I'm sure I won't be disappointed. So yeah, she kind of goes out the window of the third floor and clambers down before anyone else can see that that's what she's done. And yeah, travels through the streets of Duskvol. She's wearing this all black kind of thief attire. It's very practical, lots of pockets, kind of like a mix of a combat boot and a slightly sneakier alternative. Has a scarf wrapped around her lower face and a hood, and then a coat, of like a medium coat that's light enough that it's not going to slow her down as she makes her way towards the fancy posh district.
Mm-hmm. I'd say some of the better furniture shops are in Charter Hall, and Bright Crown. No, sorry, the Le Monde Mansion was not in Bright Crown. It is. Oh, wait.
I have the book. I can check the map.
Yeah. Let's go with that because I was like, oh shit, wait, where is that PDF? God damn it.
We are based in Brightstone.
Brightstone, yes, it is Brightstone.
Yes.
Because I mixed up White Crown and Brightstone. So yeah, but yeah,
I'm probably traveling in from the center of probably Charter Hall.
Yeah.
It's probably like a department store in Charter Hall that I've snuck into.
Fair.
Macy's.
I went to IKEA, but it's probably like high-end IKEA. So it's I don't know. It's a fancy furniture store that I snuck into.
It is, because Charter Hall is the city's civic offices and the hub for shops, artisans, and commerce. And of course, you're going to find a good high-end IKEA equivalent in Charterhall, and easy enough to make your way to Brightstone. Do you use the roads, or are you using other means?
I think she walks
Right.
down the street at this point. Like,
Fair
despite
enough.
dressing like a thief, it's nice thief wear. Everyone in Duskvol kind of looks a bit like this.
Everyone in Duskwall looks a bit sus.
Yeah,
This is
so
true. This is true.
I'm not like I'm currently not holding anything that they can stop me for. So I'll just walk down the road.
As you go crossing over the roads, you see, despite the early morning, a few industrious blue coats are already outside. They are patrolling, or in other words, harassing a lot of the street vendors and asking them for bribes, either for protection money or because, hey, they just need some coffee. But yeah, you also have a number of little vendors in carts that are going around selling their algae cakes and mushroom within mushroom sandwiches. But it is otherwise a quiet day.
Are there any traders selling like silks or robes or finery that pulls my attention at all?
Given that I rolled a 6 on your fortune roll, the silk vendors there is one. Like, it's not. There does seem to be a stall that is kind of setting up. You see an Eruvian gent who is working at setting up his stall. He has a couple of really good bales of cloth of the silk that is on display.
Yeah. Folly gets distracted on what she was doing and heads over to that stall and spends at least 20 minutes just looking at things, feeling them, going, this would be nice, this would be nice, this would be nice. Never buys anything, just looks at it all and like gives it a nice like, let's test this before heading back on the journey she was meant to take.
The Eruvian is just kind of like, he had a large smile on his face as you approached, but then given your conduct after that, by the end of it, is just like, stop touching my things. Just stop.
She definitely like plays it up like, oh, I really must consider which I would. I don't know if I'm going to buy today, but I have a great project in mind. Something that's going to be take a lot of work. So I'm just having to measure it out. I will be back tomorrow probably to buy something. I
Well,
just need to test this.
if you are going to give me business, you are always welcome. That's what I will say.
Well, I need to know that I get the right type. Because if I don't get the right type, I'm going to be spending more money than's good. And as much as I love business, we all overspend occasionally.
Oh, that is never a crime, good person. That is always, you have to spend to live it up,
I guess you're right. That is how it is in Duskvol.
Yes. Well, if you ever want good silk, you know where to come from. Mehboob is here.
Yes, I unfortunately have an appointment of some sort, I believe.
Yeah.
Checks a notebook. Yeah, it looks like it's in here. I've got to go now, sorry. And walks off.
Come back, Mehboob, always waiting. And as as Tillery walks off further towards the rich district of Brightstone, where a lot of the nobles have their manors, we will go to the next person. Yeah, Actually, that is an interesting point. What is the gender neutral term for lord lady? That's interesting. What is
Noble.
noble? Right.
My liege or something.
Or it's noble, or it's come back to me. I know what the other word is.
All right. Let's go with noble for now. Noble Lamont, where would we see you, and what would we be doing?
I don't hear Denver.
Oh, wait, hold on. Steve?
Yeah.
I don't think Steve heard that.
I don't hear Denver at all. Oh, no. Don't fuck me on this, OBS.
Hey, as it is always continued to be said, what is a pantsless stream without technical issues? Right.
Yeah.
Ooh, all right, we can come back to Denver, given that there seems to be technical issues in that regard. But William Trosh, where would we find you?
So he's not slept yet. He's gonna be on his table at his dorm at the Duskwall Academy, finishing up on what looks like a design for a new glove that he's been working on. And then his alarm starts ringing, going crazy, and then he looks at the time and he says, "Fuck, I'm late for my internship." And he's gonna start pick up a tote bag and start shoving papers in it, take one last look at the design, and he's gonna be like, "Okay, gotta remember to get parts for this on my way back." Shoves it in the bag and starts running out.
The academy is busy at all times because, hey, academics don't adhere to schedules. There are students still in the workshops in the library, and a few professors even then, the real night owls or the real early risers. But it is a fairly good representation of the general chaos of the academy at most times.
He's gonna stop by the canteen and grab a cup of coffee to go, because if he's gonna work through the day without sleeping, he's gonna need that.
At the when you stop by the canteen to get your coffee, you do there is a little bit of a conversation that you overhear between two of the students who are looking at the newspaper. And essentially, it is a small little tidbit that you overhear in your rush and to make it to your internship. But the gist of it is that shortage in electroplasm is apparent, and there might be power cuts to some sectors of the city that might be starting soon.
Shit. The prices of batteries are gonna go up. I'm gonna have to stock up before they get too expensive.
And
I'm gonna just note down that tidbit of power cuts in my head and keep walking.
more than the power cuts, I think it is the shortage in the electroplasm that I think that would come to you a little more.
Yeah.
But fair enough. From Charter Hall, it's not a difficult thing to get to Brightstone, so easy enough. You make your way to the site of your internship, which is what is the nature of this internship at the Le Monde Manor?
So it's a home for the like not it's a home for people that are not doing well, and being one of them in this city, he feels a little kinship to them, and he found a volunteering application here and thought it would be good for his credits. So he's gonna run up here and help out in any way they ask him to. He's an intern. He does what he's told.
Unpaid people are the best that way. Yep, it is. It is fantastic.
No, they're not.
Yeah.
They're not unpaid. They're not unpaid.
Yeah,
Okay.
fair,
Good.
fair. The bleeding heart. Ugh,
Hmm.
God damn it! You have to let me establish the capitalism first. But
Hey, Lamond House is a rarity in the city. Its interns are paid.
this is true. This is true. But yeah,
No, paid in actual money, not experience. I honestly hate. I hate that. I hate Denver as a person hates being paid in exposure and all that BS.
because
Mhm.
none of those things pay the freaking rent now, do they? Anyway, moving on. It is a fairly easy journey. And I think at this point, Steve, can we hear Denver?
Yep.
All right.
Yay!
Noble Lamont, where do we find you? And describe the Lamont Manor and the grounds itself.
Vey is an early riser. They're a diplomat, so they have to be up and okay. And I just lost my train of thought.
No worries. Take your time.
They have to go. They have to be in the central district early in the mornings. So, because arguing with bureaucrats and navigating the red tape takes a long time.
As you rise and start getting ready for your day, you head out to the balcony which overlooks the grounds. What is the state of the grounds of the Lamont Manor? Who is there?
Currently, it's a little bit of chaos, but it's the fun kind of chaos. They've basically set up a refugee camp in their in the grounds for the. Okay, remind me of the name of the group again.
The group from the Dagger Isles.
Yes, the group from the Dagger Isles. They've set that up to try and help the Dagger Isles refugees get on their feet in Duskwall. So there's all kinds of sounds, sights, wonderful smells from various cooking pots. Because let's be real, the Dagger Isle people know how to cook.
Could have been a central reason indeed why you invited. There are, I'd say, there are 3 different clans that have kind of gathered at your call, and hey, they don't say no to a helping hand, especially one that proves to be kind. But yeah, it is, you do see the prominent figure of the mama, who is currently already prepping her pot and cutting up all manner of different things to go into it. I'd say, yeah, your butler who would knock on the door, and you know that Gerard never knocks unless he has something to complain about.
Vey just takes a deep breath in, lets it out slowly. Come in.
The door is opened very precisely and very properly by Gerard, who is a 5'8", dark-skinned man, very sleek hair that is obviously has a lot of produce in it. There is a lot of product in it, sorry, and it is slicked back down. And he has a Prince Nez kind of glances that are kind of scrunched up on his face, and he is there is a tick that kind of goes in his face, and he's just like, Mix, I have to say, do you intend to continue this? Our stocks are depleting rather fast.
I am going to look into this, into trying to secure them housing.
Well, I must say that most of our wood has already been used in construction of their shacks, but all right. I shall try and
No,
I shall try
no,
and keep
I will. I have meeting with allies coming up.
If you are
We
sure, Mix, if you are sure. Shall I prepare your breakfast?
yet I go speak with Mama and possibly get quick breakfast there. You take a break for a while, yes?
Mix, well,
You take break.
whatever you say, Mix, whatever
I'll
you
be back for lunch. You take break, have some tea.
All right. Thank you,
Take
Mix.
take deep breaths. I'm working on solution.
All right. I will take your word for it, Mix. Have a good day. And he will remove himself from the room, closing the door with a slightly, like, you can read from the energy that he's not pleased with how he closed the door, but he's closed the door and he's gone off. Yeah, easily enough, you can make your way to the grounds itself. The There are multiple shacks that have been made on the premises, and given that you had some good construction workers kind of working on this project, it's not as squalid and terrible as a lot of the other refugee camps, especially the ones in Dunslow and Barrowcleft. They are in much worse status, and yeah, you are walking through. It's a, as you said, it's a happy chaos as a number of small little dark-skinned kids are playing. They have recently adopted to the football of Duskwall, and seem to be doing a damn good job of it. But as you kind of walk up the main kind of street, you would see Mama, who is she's about 5'5", but the aura is like that of a giant, and she is holding court in her kitchen, in her outdoor kitchen, and she just seems to be singing along as she is stirring the pot. And she sees you coming, and my good person, come, girl. Let's talk. You're hungry?
Yes, Mama.
Good. I have a bit of that gumbo that I have prepared just for you.
You are too kind.
This is not about kind. This is about hospitality. And you have given us your hospitality. And we are all grateful to the Lamonts. Sit. I will have bread and gumbo for you. And as Mama sets out a plate and you start eating, I think we will go to the next person who might actually be at the camp itself. Who knows? Fenzen, where would we see you?
So Fenzen, he'll be within the mansion itself. He's going to be in one of the empty halls. I imagine there'll be a lot of rooms that are being unused at the moment. And he's just gonna. So he's wearing like a black suit, but it's very tattered, especially at the ends. It's frayed. His suit jacket is not tucked in. His black shirt is like half tucked in. His trousers are pretty raggedy, but he's got an immaculate top hat, which is currently like he's sitting in a chair and it's like covering over his eyes as he like sort of oh, a new dawn arises. Shadows abound. Life left living, a hunger for more. And he leaves the room with a small cane twirling in his hand. And he passes Gerard.
Instant judgment, like side eye, just like
Bombastic side eye.
bombastic. Yeah.
Good morning to you, Gerard. How you be this morning? Still feeling surly, man?
I am not Shirley, Mr. Fenzen. I am. If you insist on calling yourself the concierge of the Lamond household, I must insist, sir, that you have a little more decorum under your pants. Please tuck that shirt in, and please allow me to get you a new coat. You cannot present yourself in such tatters and represent our household.
Call me whatever you like,
unbecoming.
Gerard. I simply take up the job that Boss Lamont gave me. And please, besides, it adds to that charm.
That is certainly an opinion, sir. Good day. I am on a break and I intend to take it. And
Enjoy your break, Gerard.
he kind of like, there is a little bit of a, he from the day you walked into the Lamond household, Gerard has been very against your inclusion, especially in the household stuff. He does not like you. He is, I mean, given how good you are with people, you know that there's a certain part of him that is just a little jealous of the kind of attention that Noble Lamond has been giving you. And he is feeling threatened in his position. As the head butler, he should have been also the concierge. But
He walks off twirling his cane, whistling a tune to himself.
you hear mutters of curses because there's no nobility around, and Gerard is on a break. But yeah, interesting. Where would you head out after that?
He would also head to the grounds where Mama is cooking. And Lamont is as well.
Yeah. On the way, you see, like, the couple of the kids who are playing. They see you coming, and their smiles kind of light up their faces. And one of them, a boy you name by the name of Jonah, instantly is like, "Hey, hey, Fanzin brother, I'm kicking the ball to you. Here you go," and he kicks it straight. Like it's coming straight to your face. It's it's a powerful kick for an 8-year-old, but like
He's gonna take his top hat off and try and like headbutt it.
easy enough. Easy enough, and you do so, and both Jonah and all the other kids, you'll engage in a small little impromptu football game when you will just hear a kind of piping voice just going, "Fenzin boy, you come here now."
Ah, sorry, me fellas. The mama she be calling. You know how she gets when you be misbehaving. Don't wanna be there now.
No one wants to get spanked by mama. You go on, brother.
Nobody. See ya later, Jonah.
They will give you a salute, a little hand motion that a lot of Dagger Islanders know. And you make your way, and you see your boss Lamont sitting and having a very good breakfast. And Mama is just like hands on hips, waiting. Now, what did I tell you, naughty boy? You should be coming with your boss every time. You think she's here? They're here just for funs and giggles.
Comes arms splayed out. Mama, me boss. How you be doing this fine morning?
You don't try and be your charming tongue at me, boy. Sit down, eat your breakfast, and listen to what your boss has to go.
It just comes out naturally when I see my beautiful mama.
She'll have the ladle out. Boy,
Oh. He is immediately cowed and takes his seat.
But very soon you also have a bowl of gumbo, and there is a very warm piece of, well, bread would be calling it a bit of a stretch in most other places, but given that you are guests of the Lamond estate, it's halfway decent, actually. Much better than what most of the commoners and general populace of Duskvol eats. Yeah. From there, we will move to a certain person. Biv, where would we find you?
So Biv likes to start their mornings quite early. One of their favorite things to do is be able to attempt to catch the little bit of light they might ever see on the horizon. Those brief moments at dusk and dawn. So they always try to wake up in time so that she can take her pet fox named Anubis. They call him Biss for short, so it's Biv and Biss. And they go and hang out on the rooftop of the Lamont mansion. Since leaving their last post, they've taken to some odd jobs around the town and have found the most profitable and the one that most aligns with their morals and ethic values to be helping watch over the Lamont house in a like bodyguard bouncer sort of sense. So this is kind of their current post, and they have found themselves on the rooftop with their fox, watching over the camp in the yards. They're familiar with some of the clans down there, also being from the Dagger Isles. But even with their history and backstory there, they were a little out of place. They've always kind of roughed it on the outskirts. And And so they don't go down usually and participate with the festivities and the socials that are happening down below. Like I said, instead taking a perch up top. As the day progresses, though, and people start to wake up and the kids are out in the streets, she'll actually lower Biss down the mansion with like a little makeshift elevator thingy that they've made out of like a plank and some algae rope, and just kind of lower Biss down. And she's going to keep an eye on this fox as it goes running through the streets to play with some of the 20 different eddies that are out there now playing football. And so the fox goes to play football with them and gets attached to one particular kid who pets Biss on the head and tucks a little something into their collar, which Biss comes running back to the mansion with. Biv will once again lower the elevator and pull up her companion. The two of them are going to bundle up somewhere on the rooftop and read a letter that was tucked into the collar, as she is going to munch on a little flower stem that was tucked into that letter.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that is where she's going to.
This letter is from a certain person, right?
Correct.
Okay. Is the contents of the letter going to be read out, or is that going to be a private
We'll
matter?
keep that for later.
All right. As that happens, you will also notice that the kid who did slip the letter under the collar of Biss, this is someone you would have, taken notice of, because this is not the first letter that has been passed. But Janima is the name of the kid, and she is about 14, one of the slightly older kids of the group. The resident mother hen of the children themselves. But yeah, and looking onto the horizon, the mansions of bright Brightstone extend, and there are a few, taller ones, a few larger ones. But beyond that, you can see the governor's stronghold in White Crown, the tallest of all of the buildings that are currently exist in Duskwall. And beyond that, the black waters of the sea. And it's it is curious that it's only at these two times that there is even a little bit of light, but it does speak through. The smoldering embers kind of glowing a little brighter, and a slight amount of illumination that does come from them. Biss does Biss is a he or a she?
He.
He. Biss is when you sent him down in your makeshift elevator, still a little nervous, and he's just looking up at you with very sad eyes, going,
Come on now, we've done this all the time. You've got it.
and there's a very defeated look, but then gets to the ground, gets the letter, comes back. It's a quiet moment as Biss comes and nuzzles into your leg and immediately begins kind of gnawing on the edge of your coat as you start reading the letter. And as you said, we will get to that a bit later. What does Biv look like?
Biv usually likes to maintain a darker appearance when it comes to clothes, so wearing a cloak or a jacket of some sort. Also a fun trifold hat, because aesthetics. It just doesn't balance on my headphones very well, so we will not be wearing it. until I figure that out. Coming back to that. But honestly, fairly average height. So we're probably looking in that like 5'6", 5'7" department for people who use feet and inches. If you don't, I'm sorry, I can't do conversions in my head.
That would be about 1.7 meters.
Thank you. She's keeps her like wavier. It's a dirty blonde, darker dirty blonde kind of hair. Usually in a braid. With that tri-fold hat, a not necessarily a tanned tone, I would say. She was her family lineage wise originally comes from Duskwall. They moved down to Dagger Isles, and then she came back. Yeah, keeps that darker kind of boots on the ground. Wants to be able to blend in appearance.
All right. As you open the letter, the camera will pan away and go to the last person that is yet to be introduced. Samba Falcone. Where would we find Big Daddy? Stream Daddy?
Steve.
Hey. Hi.
Steve,
Hello.
I do believe
Sorry. Hello.
Yeah. Samba Falcone. Where would we find Big Daddy?
Okay. So, from the top of the manor where Biv and Biss are, the camera pans over across the city and keeps going till it gets to the opposite end, to where the red light district is.
Silk Shore.
You see the door open to one of the homes, one of the places where things are, and immediately shut as the bright light hits the.
No bright light. No bright light.
Oh, it's a light from a lamp. It's a light from one of the lamps,
There we go.
not
There
the sunlight.
Mhm.
And the door opens again, and this immaculately dressed man steps out. Right, dude is 6'6", built like a fucking bear, is wearing the most finest black silk shit that you could have seen, and from a distance he looks almost square or round. Square, actually. Yeah, square is better. It is probably square. The head is not proportionate to the body at all. The body is huge. The legs are as big as tree trunks, right? The head is tiny. And he's wearing these really fancy black shoes, black suit, black everything. And as the camera gets closer, you notice that, is this person brown? Are they white? Ambiguous? Brown, white, bright. That's probably it. Yeah, imagine if you've seen Into the Spider-Verse, Kingpin, but brown, right? Or bright, I guess, not brown, white, but bright. But also imagine if Kingpin from Into the Spider-Verse fucked Kingpin from the Daredevil-verse, and they had a baby, and the baby was brown.
So essentially, hot Kingpin.
Oh yeah, definitely hot as fuck. Like, and as you get closer to, as the camera pans closer to this person, you notice that the suit that they're wearing, it is sure immaculate, but it is in tatters. Like, it looks like it's been sewed and resewn and like put together multiple times. The like, it's like a ship of Theseus kind of shit, where it's just, you don't know where the original suit is and the new suit begins. But it's still the same immaculate Japanese silk, just bits and pieces of tatters that he's found and sewn together to make a suit. The shoes, similar, leather is cracking in places, but it's been glued together with fucking Fevikwik or some shit, because he gives off the vibe that he is built well to do, but the reality is he's a man whore.
So
Yeah.
not just a denizen of Silkshore, but an active employee of Silkshore in that sense, a free agent.
Yeah. Even so, the job, the work that this person does, as he starts walking towards the manor. The manor is probably like an hour and a half walk away, and getting to that point is this is
it might be easier for you to just hop onto one of the gondolas, since you do have a bit of sway.
Yeah, but who's going to pay for those, Adi?
You have sway.
Oh, I do have sway. Yeah,
Since when does Big Daddy need to pay for shit?
Yeah,
that is the problem, though, right? Big Daddy is the persona. The persona is not the real person. But anyway, as this person steps out of the the house in the red light district, right? If you are active on the interwebs and you watch Instagram reels and shit, you've probably come across one of those reels where there's a bunch of penguins who pop into frame and they start dancing to that song that's like 3-6 Mafia, Wild on Tour, whooping these something, fucking these something. That is a sound that is playing in the background while he steps out and he's whistling to himself. He's snapping his fingers. I'm just right now. Everything I'm doing is to get a reaction from Callum. That's it. That is it.
I mean, yeah, fair enough. As you start whistling and walking down the resplendent and smoky streets of Silkshore, a lot of highs and hello, daddy, does come out at you from a few different alcoves, and we have gotten the reaction, so we shall speed it up from there.
How much do I have to pay to be on the other gang? Like, how many coins do I have to steal from the gang in order to transfer over?
We shall certainly find out, because it is. You also, Big Daddy. One of the other things that you kind of know is that as you are going down the roads, a familiar figure does kind of seem to be leaning against one of the lampposts and is rolling up a smoke and seems to be very nonchalant. But you know that Salia, the information broker, only appears when there is a need for it. How does Salia look? What do they look like?
So Salia is a tall, femme presenting person. They do not. They're always wearing a mask or like a scarf, something covering their face, so their facial features are not very noticeable. But they're always wearing these really ornate, elaborate black bangles with gold design on them. It's not actual gold; it's gold paint, but it's that's the vibe. And that is how they are mostly recognized by the bangles. And the same black design, the same black and gold design is also on whatever they're wearing at the time, be it a shirt, be it a blouse, be it a coat, whatever it is. And they mostly speak in like a low whisper, and they, she pronouns is Salia. Yeah.
All right. As you kind of come whistling by, there is a little look up as she finishes rolling the smoke and very pointedly starts moving slowly into an alley with a blackwards look at you.
I'm going to look around, and I'm also going to walk into the alley, but I'm going to turn I'm gonna, depending on how far in they've gone, I'll stay like about 10 paces away. That doesn't look like we're talking, and I'll pretend like I'm tying my shoelace or I'm reaching into my pockets looking for something else.
Well, Gav, you don't need to be that careful now. I've got eyes on myself. Just need to pass you on a little bit of tidbit of information. A freebie, if you'd like.
Oh, and to what do I owe this honor? For free?
Well, Gov, might need some little help myself. And a favor is a favor, is it no?
Yeah, I suppose. Depends on how interesting your information is, I suppose.
Well, Gov, you know that old Salia never gives something that's boring, especially for you. Well, a little old bird told me that as you've started your little operations with your new group of friends, there's another group that seems to have gotten into the picture as well.
Oh, that's okay. Are they doing the same thing we're doing, or?
Not in the particular. They're a little more on the shadowy side of things. But let me tell you that there is a group known as the Wailed that have started operations as well. Well,
The
a few
Veiled?
birdies told. Aye,
That's a stupid fucking name.
that is certainly an opinion, but
What
just
do
let
they
you
just
know.
wear like scarves covering their faces to be veiled? Really? That's what we're going with, the veiled? Okay, dude.
She will kind of smirk and finish, and there's a little bit of a light. Name calling is one thing, but professionals, I hope, are a little better.
Sure, go on. What is the? Do they need to like get into contact, or are they trying to encroach on our territory? We don't even have a territory yet, so like I don't know.
Just letting you know that their base of operations is not clear right now, but where they work, well, that could be of a little more interest to you. They seem to want to operate in in Brightstone.
Interesting. And above the table, we are in Brightstone as well. Yes.
Yes.
No.
Well, I guess we're going to have to kill the other gang.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I was like, okay, I guess we're gonna kill him. That's fine. No worries. And he's just looking at her with like this straightest face, and he tries his hardest before he starts laughing. He's like, no, no, it's fine. We're not gonna kill them. I'm okay. What is the vibe? What are they like? Are they good at what they do? Have they done any heists yet, or are they just fucking around?
No, yeah, but most certainly one can be said that they are rather ambitious. So I'd keep
You
my
got
eyes out.
names?
No names of yet, but that might be another little favor.
Okay. What do you want in return for their names?
Let me think about that, and I shall get back to you. How's that sound?
Yeah. Okay, that works. What do you have planned for later tonight, though? That's the real question.
Oh, now, Big Daddy. Now that is always up to play. And she will kind of walk closer to you, put the cigarette in your mouth, and with the last lingering caress, walk off.
he just watches her walk away, and there's just smoke covering his face. That is, his expression is not visible. It's just, but with the vibe, you know that he's doing his hardest to not follow, because boundaries.
With this little tidbit of information, you can progress from Silkshore to Brightstone. You can choose to get there how you wish. But yeah, making your way to the Le Monde estate, you enter the grounds and you see some of the people that you have gathered. And at that point, I think I'd say all of the members of the Duskwall Sparrows have convened. You are all at the Le Monde grounds and asking around. Easily enough, you get pointed in the direction where Boss Le Monde is. I'd say...
What is the
you all
reaction of the nearby people to this kind of situation?
There
With
is,
the-
as you kind of go in that direction, definitely, Tileri, it's easy enough to see, like, there are... The Le Monde mansion, thankfully, it is a little separate from most of the other. It doesn't share walls or fences with any other compound. It seems to be right in the middle of... it occupies one whole block to itself. It is one of the older and richer estates. But there is definitely... well, it depends. There is a small amount of derision and judgment from some of them. You also see, like, a few carriages that come out with the nobles in them nodding appreciatively in that direction before turning to their conversations in the carriages. But there is some amount of dissent.
I think upon seeing the state of the estate, Tulare like has the same like face of like disappointment and disgust for different reasons, but it's like we can't be using this for base. This is terrible. What's good? And I think I see Samba.
Mm-hmm.
What do you call this?
What do you mean? It's a giant ass mansion. What more do you want?
It's a giant ant mansion with a bunch of refugees around it. It's absolutely an attention seeker.
It's the perfect cover.
You might as well put the whole building on fire and tell them where we are.
No, but it's the perfect cover. Nobody will expect a gang to be operating from a house that is home to refugees.
I don't know where you took your lessons in being, I don't know, whatever you think you are, but this is terrible. This is an awful idea.
Okay, how about you go around the city and you find us a place.
Find a better base. I will.
Yeah, sure, yeah. I'd like to see you try.
It's not going to be difficult.
No, there no need for fighting this early in the day. You see the figure of Mama, a Dagger Islander, older woman, very much the queen of this place, of the refugee camp at least, who just seems to be gesturing you over.
And how much trouble have you already had with the bluecoats?
Oh, are you asking this to whom?
To Mama.
To Mama. Now, why do you think we be having any trouble at all? With the most
Because-
angelic look on her face.
It's because it's Brightstone. There's an appearance they've got to keep up, and this is not the appearance of Brightstone.
Well, now that be not your concern, boy. No, girl. No, don't be naughty, girl.
It's
like
okay.
this.
People get confused all the time. Just because I'm from Scotland, it's okay. And I also wear this guise to appear more androgynous. It's fine. You can, but the important detail is this is a nightmare. No offense, it's a
Well,
nightmare.
It is going to be hard to not take offense to that. You are not going to
if
get
you'll
any
allow-
gumbo.
Fenzen will cut in here. And he will, hold, mama. Let me handle this. Greetings, ma'am. Welcome. Welcome to the Lamont Mansion. I know it looks little away. That because kind boss Lamont, and he gestures at his boss, be taking in the poor and the weary. That be all.
Yeah. Well, I'm just gonna. Where are we meeting? Is there a meeting room that I can go and sit in? Does it have chairs?
You're standing in it. He's just fucking with
I
them at
assume
this
we were
point.
on the street outside.
Yeah, that's the point. He's just fucking with them now.
Oh, I
This
see.
is the meeting room.
So
Yeah.
we're just gonna stand out in the open.
Yeah, walking
Okay.
by all the blue coats or yellow coats or grey coats or orange coats, whatever the fuck they want to wear today. They're going to listen into all of our conversations, yeah?
I thought you were meant to be some kind of mastermind.
Yeah, you have. What do you really expect if you were a copper, right? And you saw a group of people just standing around talking? Do you really think that anyone would think that they were discussing secret plans out in the open? No, it's genius.
Yeah, this big boy be certainly big brained as well.
It's not the only thing that's big, mama.
Now, don't be naughty with me, boy. But somehow the size and the brazen confidence, there's a small smile on her face. And she starts giving you an extra big bowl of gumbo.
May I ask, where is the mond of the house?
They be there, pointing in the direction of Vey Le Monde. You're muted, Denver.
Unmuting is a free action, I know. But Vey is tall, fair-skinned, very androgynous. You can't really tell what gender they are. Impeccably dressed. Today they are wearing a nice button-down shirt, cravat, and a long skirt, because that is what they're feeling today. They carry themselves with an air of confidence, and they will first finish their breakfast before they speak up. We will be meeting in office. This is breakfast area.
I'm glad that somebody has a good idea around here. And Teleri walks towards an office.
Watch out for Gerard. He is grumpy today.
Yeah. William, you would also be
Oh
there.
yeah.
And I think Biv, is keeping your eye, especially if you finished your letter. You'd notice that the other people that you have agreed to work with have arrived as well.
Oh yeah, Biv is watching from the rooftop as this whole interaction goes down, just eating the letter. And then once they're done with the letter, we'll make their way downstairs into the office with everybody else. But yeah, just gonna watch from the rooftop, snacking on it like popcorn.
Right?
William's gonna get to the place around the time the discussion between Tulare and Big Daddy is gonna be ending because he was running a little late. He's gonna walk up to Mama and ask her, "Hey, hi, Mama. Do you need any help serving the others? Can I help you with anything?"
No, no, and who be you, boy?
I'm William. I'm the new intern. I'm here to help out with anything and everything the people here need. Mrs. Lamond hired me because they thought that they would need more help. Uh,
Oh, you're talking about Boss Lamond. Well, she'll kind of this whole time she had her hands on her hips. She'll kind of come up to you, kind of peering into your face, come down here,
mhm.
and she'll kind of just catch your chin and look at you like, all right, all right, you seem like good boy. Here, you take
Uh,
Gumbo with you when you go. I think they're gathering in the office there.
okay. I'll talk to them there. Thank you, and gladly take the bowl of gumbo.
Yeah. Are you married, boy?
I'm not the age yet.
Hmm, you tell me when you're interested. I think I have a number of young girls who'd be happy to meet a bright little boy like you.
He chuckles and he'll just be like, "I will keep that in mind." And he's gonna start chomping down on the soup because it's been a while since he's had a hot meal.
Mm. Now that is the only way to eat gumbo, with gusto. I like it. You good boy. She will very tenderly pat your cheek. Now finish up and go. I think all the big ones are talking.
Yeah, he's gonna start running towards the office room, barely holding a tiny tear from all of this maternal love.
And yeah, as the last person of the Duskwall Sparrows enters the office, you are all gathered, united under purpose. And as you all kind of look at each other, taking in the crew that is your individual futures are tied to as different threads to make and your own tapestry. That is where we will take a break, 10 minutes. Everyone get your ablutions, get your coffee, everything done, and we'll back in 10 minutes. Hello, hello. Welcome back to the first meeting of the Duskwall Sparrows in the office study of the Lamond Mansion. The six sparrows gather, and before any word happens, there is again a very pointed knock on the door. Uh, Max, may I come in?
Ah,
And the familiar for some of you figure of Gerard comes in, and he has a tray with a number of different teacups and a kettle, and he has just a quick scan around the room. Oh,
Shoot
I,
him a salute.
I assume these are your new friends.
duh.
Succinct as ever. Nick's succinct as ever. He will, with great pain, kind of like, come inside, put the tray down just a little more harder than, he could have. And Mix, that I am sworn to your house and I have lived here all my life. Are you sure that this is the company that you wish to keep?
To
Yeah,
Larry,
here. Go ahead.
So Larry goes over to the tea set and starts looking at the tea set.
Exquisite.
These are lovely. Where did you get them? How long have they been in the family home?
These have been part of our finery for 200 years.
200 years. Wow. You must be more careful with them in the future. These are precious artifacts. Lovely craftsmanship. I was almost ashamed to put tea in them.
Well, I would agree, but Mix Lamond insisted that their friends have the best, as much as I may.
Friends might be a little bit too much at this point, if I'm going to be honest with you. But I appreciate the finery.
Well, at least some of you have an appreciation for the finer things. Mix, I shall leave you to it then. Do ring if you need anything else, scones, biscuits, or invitations for your friends to leave.
Thank you, Gerard. For now, this will be all. Duck.
Of course.
I think
Mix.
to prevent anyone from breaking these cups, Larry is going to pour the tea for everyone very delicately.
You do notice that Gerard does notice this out of the corner of his eye, and you could swear he gives you the smallest bit of approving nods. But yeah.
Wow. I'd like everyone to be extremely delicate with these cups. If I see one shatter, I shatter your back. Does that make it clear?
Don't give me one. I'll drop it.
Honestly,
Sounds like a good idea.
I tell you,
Would
I
anyone
will.
actually like? Would anyone actually like tea? No. Great.
I will have one.
Completely ignores you and starts drinking.
But my well, the ladies, it takes some time to get used to.
I think Williams is gonna take out his pot of coffee that he carries with him and just start sipping from that.
A little thermos, yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Fenzen just takes out like a hip flask.
They will help themselves to the tea. And they are also very careful with it.
As Anubis starts going around and sniffing all of your feet and cocking his head up at you, he does kind of steer a little further away from William, because there's a lot of different smells of chemicals and shit on you. So that pause
Makes
at
them a little
his
nervous.
nose. Yeah, pause at his nose, but then he'll come back and kind of make a little circle in front of Biv's feet and then curl up there.
She'll crouch down and they'll share some little chittering with one another. This is Biv getting all of the tea from this, finding out what happened. And yeah, all right.
That be a pretty little fox.
Ain't he though?
William is heartbroken that he did not get attention from the fox.
Wow, I would love to sit around all day and watch your little fox dance around, but I do have other business. So, looks at Samba and is just like, I refuse to call you Big Daddy. And he's like, well, I assume you have a client for us.
How old is Teleri?
Late 20s.
Okay, cool. Just trying to
Late-
figure out late 20s, right?
Okay.
Late 20s.
Cool. Okay, just trying to make sure that
27.
the advances are not inappropriate, basically.
No. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, above the table, DM, what do I have?
The only thing that you as a character would know is the little bit of information that your information broker friend passed on to you. So
Okay.
technically,
I mean-
at this point, this would be mechanically, as a number of you haven't played Blades in the Dark yet. At this point, it would be going out to search for information on things that you could do. And this could be done in a number of different ways. You could use your contacts that you have. You could go find them. You could go have a little talk with them. You could scout around and just see what you could hear. And there are a number of different things.
Above the
Okay, just
table,
making sure, yeah.
someone around this table does have a really good
Yep.
lead.
Yep.
Yeah.
William's gonna speak up if he sees Big Daddy has nothing. He's gonna be like, I overheard a few of my classmates talk about that there's gonna be a shortage of electroplasm, which means a shortage of power. And if any of us has any contacts, maybe we could corner the black market for electroplasm for the next, for this shortage. Maybe make it longer so that we have access to a lot of business.
There's the contact we have down at the docks, right? Ellen.
Yeah, she's a dock worker.
Yeah, familiar with the Leviathan hunters, right? Well, that job will pay. I guess we'll be needing a boat.
Good thing we have.
The shortages will affect the poorest communities first. The wealthy, they will always have access to power. So it will not affect them unless it gets bad. Unless it gets really, really bad.
Alternatively, you can fund the helping of others through selling electroplasm to people who will pay lots of money for it.
I second that idea.
She's got a point, boss.
We could also use some families keep stocks that are off the books. So we could also redistribute that.
What we do with electroplasm after we get it is one thing. Another thing is I'm not particularly equipped to go hunting leviathans. So before we think about what we'll do with it once we have it, let's find a way of sourcing it first.
We work with leviathan hunters. They take down the leviathans. They bring the ectoplasm. We distribute.
Yes. Well, I guess it really is that simple then. You will.
But sometimes Blue Coats guard supply. drop-off sites. So
I mean,
If
more than anything, like as seasoned veterans already, despite being a starting crew, do you have a general idea of how the city of Duskwall operates? And the spark rights have priority concern when it comes to electroplasm, more than even the city council or even the Ministry of Preservation, which makes sure that the city stays the way it does. The spark rights would have the highest priority in shipments of electroplasm, because they are responsible for the technology that not only keeps the city powered, but most importantly, keeps the lightning walls operating.
What
do not
questions I
target.
have? Sorry.
We do not target spark rights because spark rights keep the lightning wall up.
So we leave enough for the walls to stay functional. We take the rest.
There are two questions. Question one, why is there going to be a shortage? What is causing the supply problem? Is it simply lack of hunting, or is there some sort of disruption in the travel lines? That's the important thing we need to know. And two, we need to find if any of the boats on that shipment line need assistance in transporting their cargo.
I mean, the first one is pretty obvious, right? It's a breeding issue. It's breeding season for the leviathans, and of course, during that time, they hunker down to mate, to make more leviathans, baby leviathans, right? So right now, there's a shortage because they can't hunt any ones because they're all hiding. So, and he's just saying this with a very straight face. Just this is the.
I didn't know you were an expert in the sea.
Oh, I'm an expert at a lot of things, darling.
William has studied spectrology, so would he know if this is factual?
There is,
or is Big Daddy just making this up?
I'd say, give me do you want to, peer behind the veil of Big Daddy?
Are we gonna get our first roll?
This might be our first roll. So now this is the thing that, again, in Blades in the Dark happens. The GM does not call for rolls, right? The GM will give you a situation and a scenario, and you tell me how you want to get through it, right? So essentially, now in this situation, the scenario is that there may or may not be bullshit coming from a certain individual, and they are keeping in the poker face for a legendary poker face. How would you, as a character, kind of try and get past the veil?
So he's not concerned, he's not worried about finding out whether Big Daddy is lying or not. He's more just checking his own facts, that is this how it really works? Because electroplasm is his bread and butter, because he works exclusively with it. So he would know where it comes from, what it does, etc., etc. So he's just checking his own information bank.
All right. So then, with the skills that are available to you on your sheet, what do you think would be most plausible in this regard?
Study?
Yeah, fair enough. That sounds like a fairly good thing to do. Give me a study roll. It's going to be not great effect, but give me a study roll.
I have 1 point in study. So how many dice do I roll?
You roll 1 dice, and
okay,
that would be the result. In other cases, when you have now, see, if this was a stressful situation where it actually mattered, you could push yourself and take a point of stress and add a dice to the pool. But
Okay. That's 3, 2, 1. That is a 4 on the dice.
That is a 4. So a lot of the anatomy and the breeding of leviathans, it is not as explored as it could be, because first of all, there's one thing that you remember: there is no record of leviathans actually breeding, because the general consensus is that they appeared in the oceans from another plane, potentially from somewhere else. These are creatures that were never before heard of or seen in in the islands before they got shattered, even. So you are fairly sure that they don't breed.
Okay, I'm gonna, like, with a genuinely confused / curious face, I'm gonna turn to Big Daddy and I'm gonna be like, "Are you sure? I heard they don't breed. I heard they just popped out one day. Like, do you have any papers I could read on this?"
Well, yeah, they did. They did just pop out of nowhere. But like, how do you think they're sustaining their population? It's not just like thousands of them popped up and there's still thousands of them still around, right? There are more and more leviathans that pop up every day. And how do you think they show up? They have to be. They have to reproduce somehow. It's not like there's just like a hole that they just come out of. I mean, there probably is a hole that they come out of, but that's not the point, right?
Probably. That is the general consensus over it, honestly. In the academic circles, that is the general consensus over it. I'm pretty sure they don't breed.
Oh, but like, think of it this way, right?
Perhaps they could just hire
humans
your services then?
my services? If people wanted my help to breed, I mean, I'm always down to give them a hand or two or something else instead.
Friends,
Yes,
friends.
the famous Leviathan Whisperer.
My friends, it matter not
No one else.
what the Leviathans be up to. The fact is, there be less electroplasma going around, and we need to find a source. And like our friend William said, corner it.
And I'll go find us the boat.
Okay.
Do you need help? I can come with you. He says to...
Looks at you with like her stark green eyes just stare at you. Look you up and down. Well,
I smile at him,
all of us here,
smile.
You are probably the most proficient.
Hey, what does that mean?
I'm sure he just knows I know machines more than anyone here. Sorry, she or they. They, right.
Use anyone you like. I honestly, I could not give two shits right now about that because I just want to get out of this damn place and to work.
I feel like 2 shits at a time is kind of concerning. Have you consulted a doctor or something?
Are you one of those too?
What, a doctor? I mean, I've been known at a lot of things: a doctor, an astronaut, a plumber, a carpenter, electrician. I've done a bunch of different roles. So
that explains it. That's why the sun exploded. You crashed into it, and then she leaves.
Oh my god! Oh my god! William just follows, barely holding his mouth.
I just look at the others and I just look at them like enemies to lovers. I'm telling you.
I mean, not everyone be into role play, man.
Wait, but then if you're not into role play, then what is the point of living?
Biv, as a quiet center in this chaos, looking at your crew members, what are the first thoughts that come to your mind?
I thought I was the weird one. Like, Biv gets introduced eating paper, and this is what she at this point is gonna be like, Well, we've got work to do. We should get to it. I think we're looking for some sources.
Ah,
We'll find an accent
I
again.
will check with my contacts in the government. I check with them, see what is going on.
Yeah, fair enough. A number of you have directions in which to go. So Way Lamond is going to head to White Crown to get in touch with her contacts there to get more word about what's happening. Larry and William are heading off where exactly?
I just above table decided that we didn't have the boat at this place yet because it doesn't make sense there's a boat at this mansion. So I think Tulare, and also because since Tulare is I think we talked about it during the break. We think Tulare is probably the person who can pilot the boat because of its finicky. Hindrance is the wrong word. What the edge?
Edge and fault.
Fault. There we go. Wrong system. She's probably going to go and pick it up from the docks and also get some information while they're there. Is the idea? Is that like maybe it's in for repairs and like that's why this whole that's why she's part of this gang is because she loosely had a lead on a boat and Big Daddy was like, well, we could use that boat if you want to work with us, and like maybe they went in on it together as like they used whatever funds they had as a collective to do the boat up, and that's why Tulari's here because she's so much of an arsehole. You don't know why she's here.
Fair enough.
So yeah, I think we're heading for the docks to go and pick up the boat and maybe get some info.
Okay. Biv, what would you be doing? What do you think Biv and Anubis would be doing to aid in this endeavor?
We are going to go talk to our, I don't want to say buddy, but our buddy, our friend, our old pal, Valeris.
All right.
Who is a spy.
Mm-hmm.
And they've got a solid little, I was trying to figure out where I wanted their solid little hangout to be where I was heading. We're gonna head out to Coleridge.
Okay.
Factory labor time.
So Valeris has been established as an NPC. Where you meet up with Valeris is entirely up to you because you can have definitely your own meeting place. But we'll get to that. All right. So, but you are going to meet up with Valeris in Coleridge. What about Big Daddy and Fenton? What are you two going to do?
You got ideas, Stamba.
Steve?
So there is a thing that I need to talk to you about that I didn't tell the others because I was concerned.
Sure.
I ran into a friend earlier on my way here, specifically Salia, and they mentioned that there might be another group trying to gain power. They're called the Wield, which is a stupid fucking name if you ask me, but I guess it's better than the Duskvol Sparrows. I feel like we should have still gone with the Duskballs, but whatever. So,
Right.
do you think we can go get more information about this group in particular?
But potential competition.
Basically, yeah.
Sounds fair to me, man. I'm in.
Okay. So, do you have any contacts that you want to reach out to? I actually thought about Salia told me everything that they know, and the only other contact I have right now is Jaren, who kind of hates me right now. So,
Well, I've got a friend that I might be able to talk to. They hear things often. Perhaps they can let us know more about this evolving situation.
Yeah, sounds good. I'll come with you then.
Over the table, I want to talk to Clyra,
Mhm.
the tavern owner.
Yeah, all right. Sounds good. Let's start with Vex Lemont, Way Lemont. Um, Mix Lemont, as you head over, I'm assuming you'd be taking your carriage to get to White Crown.
Yep.
Fair enough. It is a by now the streets have gotten busy. The carriages are so once again there are no horses. There are very few people who have horses. Your house would have two horses in their stable, but they're being used for pleasure as opposed to utility. They Most of the utility animals are actually massive goats that actually pull the carriages. They are the size of horses, and you've heard about things about radiant energy and how that can be used to augment the growth of both plants and animals. And you have two of these massive goats that are strapped to your carriage, and you see a number of them as you kind of trundle up to White Crown. In fact, as you go, you also see the streets are busy, and the lamplight flickers, but there is a large number of different carriages. You also see a number of hulks that go by. Hulks are essentially, um, it's an interesting description. They are strange amalgamations of metal and flesh that are crafted for specific purposes by the Sparkrites. And in certain richer parts of the city, the hulks are essentially being used for public transport. They are large, almost like this one in particular. They look like large manatees with feet. It's like a tapir on a tapir on steroids, but like massive, with a huge carriage that is bolted or tied onto it. And as you go over the bridges into the pristine and clean streets of White Crown, of course, being cleaned ever so subtly by a large number of sweepers and cleaners and other people, but you trundle over to the decision making and the power taking place of Duskwall. Entering into the district itself, how would you go about doing this? So it's a fairly busy day, as most days are in this part of the city, as a lot of the policy and decision making happens here. How would you go about acquiring the information that you want?
They would first check in with the other diplomats to see if there's any been any mention of shortages coming.
Okay, fair enough. I'd say that's a fairly easy thing for you to do because you are one of them. Uh, would you want to? What skill would you think would be applicable from your list to kind of get this information?
I would say sway,
Okay.
because it's not it's generally probably wouldn't be something that would be widely known, but people still know about it. So
I mean, so to preface this, I will say, like, on the way over, you did also spot a newsboy who was, like, crying this out. Like, he had a paper on him which, like, which said, like, electroplasm shortage, and he was calling out, electroplasm shortage. Sparkrights think there's going to be power cuts in some areas. Read all about it.
So I would probably be looking for more specific details related to it.
All right.
Things that the general public wouldn't be privy to.
You go to the diplomat's bureau, the office, and you encounter a number of your colleagues. One of them being a particularly high up diplomat of Eruvian descent who generally deals with Eruvia. Their name is Jabslom, and Jabslom is a slightly older gent in his 50s, and he is at this point, when you enter his office, he is just mulling around and looking at the paper, and then looks up to you and, hey, Lamond, good to see you today.
You as well. I've heard the rumors and the news about the ectoplasm.
It is going to be difficult. It is. But it is going to be pointed in some directions. Not sure about what it is. I've heard some chatter from my people. Give me a sway roll then at this point. Let's see what you get.
Highest is a 4.
Highest is a 4. Since that is going to be a mixed success, I would say that he lets you know, well, there seems to be some shortage, not just in Duskwall, but in a lot of other areas as well. I've heard chatter from people in the Eruvians that there seems to be something happening in that direction as well. It's only Skovland that does not seem to be worried too much, as most of their habitats are protected not by the lightning walls, but by the ancient magics that still stand strong in those lands. It does seem to be a slightly bigger issue than just our waters.
That's concerning.
We do not have ancient magic to protect us. The only thing that does is the lightning walls. I, for one, do not want to be caught outside.
Do you think there will be enough to keep the walls powered?
That is, they have a surplus. That is not going to be a problem.
That is good.
But it is incumbent on everybody to try and do better about this. This is not something that we can play around with all that much.
Might be wise to stock up on candles.
I've always appreciated your sense of humor. And he will pour you a cup of tea, and I think we will go to the next people. Caleb and William.
Do we have a clock active?
Not yet.
Okay. Okay. Electroplasm. Who legally can hold it?
So the the main ingress of electroplasm into Duskwall is at the docks. They are mostly held in the Leviathan Hunter warehouses. The Leviathan Hunter fleet is it's not a public group. They are a private fleet. There are a number of ships that are owned by the highest houses of Duskwall, and there are a few minor houses that have smaller vessels as well. But the largest and most prolific Leviathan hunters would be, controlled by the most powerful houses of Duskwall.
Yeah.
But their warehouses are where they would be stored, and then it would go into a couple of areas. First, being to the Sparkrites, to ensure that, the lightning walls stay lit, and the lamps and all of the other things, the radiant energy, number of different things that go into under their purview. The rest would go to the city council and, as I said, to the Ministry of Preservation.
And the universities?
To a certain lesser extent, but yes.
Yeah. So it's not something that ordinary people have access to. It is for government. It is for officials. It is for businesses with licenses to refine the fire from blood to electroplasm.
Yes. And most of that refining does happen by the Sparkrites. So they are the first point of contact.
Yeah. Cool. Sorry, I was just trying to figure out who our marks are.
Yes, fair.
In this particular case.
Yeah, you'd think that would be something that a spider would do, right? But
yes, Steve, fucking get doing your job. Well, to be fair, Steve hasn't gone yet, so we can't bully Steve too much.
Didn't we say we had a contact on the docks?
Yes, we do. We have Alan.
Yep.
That's how I say it, but that's probably not what it's intended to be. Yeah, I think we first of all we go and get the host.
Yes. Yeah.
Our ship. It's a boat. I think by categorization, if that matters, because we're not meant to have a mansion as a base. I don't know if the boat can fit more than 2 people, but it's it's 1 tier above, so it can fit about 4 people roughly, according to the tier system.
Did we get quarters as well? So the boat
that will be at the base, not the boat. Yeah. I've already talked about the mechanics of this on the boat.
Okay. I'm sorry.
No, I'm just being a narc. So yeah. William, how much experience do you have with these dock workers?
Not a lot. I heard Big Daddy talk about us having a contract here, but I've come here a few times to do surveys. They don't seem very keen on us bookish types, but I can try.
I see you a student then.
Yeah. The Duskvol Academy, the home to the brightest minds and drug addicts, but yeah.
Right, I see. Okay. Well, let's meet up with our contacts. I've interacted with Ellen a couple of times trying to get things through the docks. When I've come back from some of my more illicit trades.
How long have you been doing this? If you don't mind me asking, I'm relatively new to this. If you couldn't tell.
Yeah, no, I could tell. It was quite obvious. You might want to stop looking nervous all the time. Walk with confidence. Don't cry every time a nice woman says something to your face.
How do you know it's all not luck? Maybe I'm trying to make people underestimate me. Like
If
you are
someone
doing right now.
underestimates you in Duskvol, they will take any chance they can at you.
I take out a syringe and I say, they might as well try.
I see. Well, let's meet up with our contact. Yeah,
In the syringe bar.
I would like to meet up with Elen, and then I would like if we could roll survey to watch the docks to see if there's sign of disruption.
Okay.
Like, is it look like there's like higher security? Is that what's slowing down supply chain? Is it that there aren't as many ships as there normally would be? Is it to do with like yeah, just trying to see if I can visually, because I've just realized neither of us have any social skills as characters.
I do have a plan like that I could use to like in the game flavor it as to why us asking about the shortage would make sense. If you're willing to roll with it. Like I could literally just grab a few sheets of paper and go around going, hey, I'm from the Duskwall Academy. I'm doing a survey on the electroplasm shortage. Could you tell me anything you know about it? I'm writing a paper on it.
Yeah,
Definitely be interesting.
that
Do
could work.
Also, to give you a quick clarification, the host, given that it is a cohort, it would be treated as a tier +1. So it is
Yes.
technically a tier 1 thing. So it could fit
Yeah.
3 to 6 people, and like a certain amount of cargo as well.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I'm thinking it would be the size of like a tugboat,
Yeah.
for example. Yeah, it would be the size of a tugboat. But yeah, sure. So would you want to pick up the host first, or how do you want to go about it?
Yeah,
Let's
we can go and see
pick up
the
boat
host.
All right. Going over to the docks, very easy to find, Ellen with a little asking. She seems to be at one of the wharves doing a little checklist and muttering to herself. She's a very small person, like about just a tad under 5 feet tall, but quite stocky and quite broad and shouldered, and buzz cut hair, and a little bit of a scar on her face as well. And she seems to be always perpetually chewing tobacco. But she does seem to be like muttering to herself as you find her.
Elen, light of my life.
Yeah, it's you. All right. What do you want?
Well, we're here to pick up the host.
Your little friend there, right? Sure.
She's gorgeous. Look at her.
I am not gonna lie.
Have
She
you ever
is.
seen a ship as beautiful as the finest?
She's a plucky girl. That much I'll give you. Certainly is a little more distinct than most other boats of her size, but
That's what gives us her charm. She's homely.
Aye, that is certainly a word I would use for it. But come on, I've got other work to do, and I've kept her safe for you. Inspecting this pickup for a while. Come on,
What do I owe you?
you don't owe me anything for now.
Are you sure? I've got lots of favors I could offer you.
Give me an example.
Kisses on the cheek.
First of all, you're not my type. And second of all, this would be more important.
Well, how about you tell me a little bit about the shortage going round of electroplasm? And then when we swoop in with our alternative supply, we give you a little bit of coin in return.
Spits and then turns back to you. And I owe you then.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I always come through. How many times have I gone beyond the wall and back again?
Never ceases to surprise me. All right, come on. And as you are kind of starting to follow Ellen to a small little, what is the word for it? A dry house. They, the
Yeah.
yeah, the essentially a small little warehouse where like the boats would be constructed. There is a ramp that leads down into the water. As you're going in that direction, you do hear a bell that seems to be ding 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 ding, and you see there's an instant kind of look around. Also, before that, I'd say both of you were trying to survey the place, right? So give me a survey roll. Both of you can do it.
Is it not just that they assist me, like one of us leads and the other assists?
Yeah, you could do that as well. Yeah.
But I have no points in survey.
So you roll 2 and take the lowest.
But since you're being aided in this regard, I'll say it's just a straight roll.
2, 3, 2, 1. That is another 4.
I've got a 6.
You got a 6. That is, I'll take the 6 because as you were walking up to Ellen itself, you notice that there is a general lack of energy at the docks. While there seems to be enough cargo and other stuff that does come through, especially towards the Leviathan Hunter docks and wharves, you don't see too much action. Most they seem to be going through the motions of work, very desultory, very low energy. But as soon as this bell kind of started going off, there was, "Oi, it's coming in! It's coming in!" And you instantly look towards the entrance to the dock itself, where you see there is a zoom, 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 as the lightning between two of the towers shuts down, allowing entry into the port itself. And you do see one of the larger Leviathan Hunter ships coming through. It is a massive vessel, it's about 200 feet long, with cranes and nets and stuff, and generally a massive hulking uh, metal monolith. It's almost the height of some of the buildings on some of the lesser districts of Duskwall. But the most important thing on this particular Leviathan Hunter, the Temeraire, as you kind of see it coming in, is that there is a massive Leviathan that does seem to be caught in its crane and hung up as the ship kind of cruises in. And as that kind of does, you see a couple of other tugboats come and try to move, and they are all letting off steam, and there's a general susurration of energy and happiness as now they have work to do. As the Temeraire is being lent in, Ellen does kind of look and, oh, not going to lie, that's a good thing. We haven't seen one in a couple of weeks.
What's the hold up?
It's not entirely clear. I don't know as much as I should, but there is more under the control of the Leviathan hunters themselves. I will say that is the first beast they've brought in a good 3 weeks.
It's been coming back empty.
Most of them, if at all, one or two little tadpoles have been brought in. Nothing of the size of that monster.
You got any idea where they might be storing whatever they collect from this?
In their warehouses, lad.
Maybe we have a store already. I tell Larry.
Yeah, but you see, stealing from the Leviathan hunters isn't going to be useful. They already have a contract with the Spark hunters. What is that they're called? Spark rights. Spark rights. The accent took over. Spark rights. So if we steal from them and then try and sell it back to the Spark rights, we won't get anything. It will show. It'll be obvious. What we need to identify is what's stopping them from bringing more in, and that's the source that we need to break or work round. Is that we need to find what is stopping them from bringing things in, and if we can get to that and maneuver around that, then we make a profit because we can give them something that the Spark rights aren't getting. We found the demand and we can see there's a problem in supply. Now we just have to identify what's causing it.
But your plan's good, but if we find the source. If we don't, there's other customers in the market, I'm sure. Even the academy needs some ectoplasm to teach its students, right?
You get that from the Spark rights. The Spark rights develop the stuff. You can't make electroplasm out of nothing. It comes from Leviathan blood, and the technology that's required to process it isn't easy to come by. And I'm not getting into a fight with the Spark rights over one of their factories. We'd die.
And also at this point, I think as a GM, I will remind you that one of the factions that you actually have a decent relationship with is the Leviathan Hunters.
Yeah, let's not steal from our only friends.
Yeah.
Right. Cool.
Yeah. We could stop by them while we're here and say hello. I have point in sway.
Maybe they will tell us why they've been getting less Leviathans.
Yeah, we can go do that. Can we go and do that, Addy? Can we go and pop over to the Leviathan Hunters?
We could do that. I will say, as you are, do you want to collect the host?
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah. So, actually, we'll take the tugboat out to go and talk to the other tugboats.
All right. That makes a little more sense. Yeah, most certainly.
Yeah.
First of all, I think describe how, as Ellen leads you into the dry dock.
Yeah.
Yeah, leads you into the dry dock. It's one of the smaller ones, a little more rundown. But she leads you in, and then she flips a switch, and the host is revealed. Describe your cohort vessel for me.
So, it's a remarkable tugboat. It's distinct in that the kind of carriage on top is two-tiered. So on top is where you drive and steer it from, and then beneath it is a small cabin. And rather than like being beneath the because to save space, it's literally plopped on top. So it's like That's why when you see it, you know that's the host, because no one designs a ship like that.
Perfect. Perfect.
For good reason.
For great reason. It's a terrible design. It's clearly Scotland in design. Like,
Okay.
this is a bunch of people in Scotland who are like, you want us to build a boat? I vaguely know what one of those looks like. It's
Well,
got a cabin and it's got a place to steer, and they just put them on top of each other. What else is distinct about it? What kind of engines do we use? Do we use like? I guess they're like.
Yeah, this would be charcoal, like
Yeah.
Yeah, it would
There's
be
like
a boiler.
charcoal engine on the back.
Yeah, it would have a boiler. Yeah.
And like the way it's been designed is that they were like, oh, we want to hide the fact there's an engine on it. So like the coal pit is built into the deck. So there's just a hole in the deck that you've got to throw coal down. And it was basically this has been designed by a moron. And it's beautiful. It's the most wonderful ship ever. It has on the side the host, and underneath it's a boat.
Does it say that in a white spray paint that has like leaks
Yeah.
from it?
Oh my god.
That sounds
They
perfect.
also haven't put much room between the and host, so it just looks like one word.
Toast.
Host.
Toast.
Oh,
Yeah, perfect.
I think you see the like, even though her mouth is covered by the scarf, her eyes just brighten at the sight of it. It's the most happy you've seen Larry this entire time.
Something inside William's soul dies when he looks at this. As an artificer, it is a shame to look at.
You know what? It's also
part of
also
Vay's
lime
soul
green.
leaves their Vay's soul
lime
leaves their body on principle.
Yeah,
You know when you
it
see a
is-
Ford
it is
Fiesta that's lime green, it's that
Mhm,
color
mhm.
of green. That's a very
Jesus.
British.
Oh my.
It's hideous.
El-
It's-
El- Ellen, Ellen, though, like she looks at it and she like puts her clipboard under one arm and like crosses her arms and like there is an approving nod. She's got pluck at last. She's got pluck.
That's what I say.
Rick-
Everyone says she's a hideous monster, and I say she's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen.
Beauty
Weren't
is
you
often beauty is often a day of the beholder.
Weren't you the one complaining about how we're not discreet? How is this
Oh,
discreet?
we do need to give it a paint job at some point, but I've not been able to afford one of those yet.
Well,
I was thinking a navy blue bottom, and then we're going to paint the top into like a nice wood paneling.
Ellen kind
I
of.
want you to
is,
know the designer side of me is cringing so hard right now.
Mhm.
It sounds horrendous. Not gonna lie, but yeah, Ellen, gives you the keys to the engine, and right. Do you want me to launch her now?
Oh, no offense. I think I best do it. and like she gets into the cabin where you drive it, where you kind of
The steering cubby.
steering cabin, and in order to start it, you have to like pull the wheel off. Fix some wires in it. She kind of like blows on it a bit.
Hot wire a boat.
Yeah, you have to hotwire the boat in order to make it work.
Oh my god.
And then you have to like pull on these two, like you pull on a bunch of chains in a particular order, and then it starts, and you can put the wheel back on. And sometimes it takes a second because you've got to get the wheel in the right position before it goes on.
Like as you are up there, and there are various clanks and sounds, and there's finally the. Ellen turns to you, William, and just goes, "Well, good luck to you. I'm off."
I will need it.
Launches!
And she will go and put in a kind of lever. The host slides into the water, and you are now embarked on your first, on William's first journey.
You're going to want to be careful, William. There is a hole on the deck. That's where the
I
fuel
can
goes.
see
You don't want to
that.
end up in there.
I can see that. Let me at least make a fucking cap for the whole next downtime, please.
That seems like it's just going to get in the way. How am I going to put fuel in if it's got a lid on?
By lifting it. If you can lift the wheel to start it, you can lift the lid.
No. I only have to do that when it first warms up. You can quick start it if you were. And then she shows by kicking the middle of the wheel really hard.
As the comedy of errors proceeds, and the host proceeds to join the little tugboat fleet that is bringing the Temeraire in, we will go to our resident hound. Viv, tell us where you meet your contacts.
Yes. So we are heading out to Coleridge. Nice little factory laborer area. Figured, common folk hiding spot. So honestly, I would know that Valeris probably has a couple of places out here. So would probably prowl around, hunt around for a moment to figure out exactly which one of her hangouts she's in. But upon finding it, it's probably some little office area, dingy little hole in the wall.
It is exactly in one of those dingy little wall of the house. It's actually a small little noodle stall, a literal hole in the wall noodle stall. And as you enter the area, Anubis darts in front of you and runs up to a very tall and lanky man, quite light in build, and like stooped over, this small little table, and eating his noodles. Anubis starts yapping and bounds up, and the tall man immediately puts down the noodles and goes, "Anubis, oh, you little cootie, how come here, and immediately, it's one of those. For some reason, Anubis really likes
Valeris.
Valeris, yeah, because Valeris gives excellent scritches. And he actually even takes off his gloves and, "Oh, you little cutie. Beef, my friend, how you do this day?"
We're just, I'm not even going to play the shit with you, Valeris. Have you heard anything about this electroplasm issue?
There does seem to be a bit of shortage that is coming our way.
Yeah, that's what we've heard, and just that was hoping maybe you'd seen a little, if any of the workers out here had maybe heard of anything going on. I didn't want to go out to the docks. I've heard some that it's kind of empty out there, and I've got a contact. One of my friends has mentioned not to go out to White Crown to ask about this, so I figured you might.
Well, old Veloris knows lots of things, not going to lie, but he'll sit back down and, he'll start James Bond villain stroking Anubis,
That's Anubis' favorite stroke.
Yeah, and sits back down. Give me what role would you want to use in the situation to collect the information? Let's see how effective your gathering be.
As a person who also has no social skills, YOLO Swaggins it. We're gonna try and consort.
All right. Give me a consort roll.
Excellent. Which I have no skills in, so we're gonna roll 2 and pick the lowest.
Yep.
This is when I get a crit success. No, it's a 1. Valeris hates me today.
Yeah, Valeris.
Oh no.
Valeris looks to you and Beav, you is comrade. We've done this dance long time, but unfortunately, I have to tell you, my information has been passed on to other clients, and it would be a little clash of interest to give you the same, no?
Who said it had to be the same, though? You can tell best if you gotta. You can whisper it right in his ear.
You're sneaky. Valeris likes sneaky. This is true.
That's gonna turn the chair around and actually sit across, got the back of the chair and just kind of pretend like she knows how to do a puppy dog face. It's just a straight face.
I'd say, given the intense purring vibration that is coming from Anubis, it makes up for that. He'll kind of smirk at you and kind of lean in a little bit. Well, some little friends told me some things. I told them to other little friends. But what I know about shortage, I will tell you this. The Leviathan hunters, they are not finding as much as they want to. Their hunting grounds are going barren. That is much as I can tell you, I think. Yes?
I mean, I guess if you couldn't tell me maybe who might know something about the waters then.
Now, this could be offered, but this could be given at a certain price. I will say 1 coin for me to divulge this information.
I stick my hands in my pockets where I have literally no coin, and I will pull out a red ball of lint, some mushroom jerky, and my algae rope that I was using as my elevator shift earlier. I'm yeah, well, might have to come back for that.
Yes.
Shoves everything back in the pockets.
It is true. The algae rope does not go as far as it once went.
Yeah. Disappointing, but
Coin goes and coin comes. It is always it can come into my hands later from your hands when you acquire it. Till then, my comrade, that is all that I have.
Do you have I hate to ask for more of your hospitality, Valeris, because you've done so good. Viv likes to take on the accents of other people. That's what's going to happen this whole campaign. She's neurospicy. Congrats. I'm just going to let it happen.
That's good.
I hate to ask, but all right. Is there one more thing I could get from you? May we take your fire escape out and up? I don't want to go back out the front door.
That is free of charge, comrade. Anything for little beast here? Do you little putty? Yep. And he will get up and place this in your hands. Come, I will show you to better exit. And you go back and you exit, and you are on the roofs of Charter Hollow. And Valeris will leave you at the door to the roof with a little tip of his hat. Whenever you have coin, you let me know, friend. I have information there.
I got you.
Does with that, yeah. And he closes the door and goes inside. Now we shall go to Fenzin and Big Daddy, Samba. What are you all doing?
I think we're heading to my contact, Clera, the tavern owner.
Describe where you would go to. Where would you find Clera, and what is the tavern's name? Describe it for us as the camera pans to the two of you walking down a murky street.
Crap. Where may I access the maps? So sorry.
It's in the player kit PDF that I've sent.
Okay. Give me a sec.
As you are going, and as Zahn is finding the map, would there be conversation that would happen between the two of you?
Absolutely.
I think Big Daddy, Big Mob Daddy, Samba, Falcon, all the names is again, he's back to his own, snapping his fingers while walking and looking over Fenzin up and down. So how much of this is something that you are doing or working with us for your own benefit versus how much of this is purely under pressure to help out family?
Well, you see, Samba, my friends be few, my station low, my power insignificant. This not be a place I want to be in life for me and my family. This must change. And perhaps you could be one of my friends.
I know the internal struggle that Steve is having right now.
What about you, big man?
Yeah. What is the reply? Mob Daddy.
Steve posted in the Twitch channel that he is right back. His food arrived.
Oh, fair
Shit.
enough. Fair enough.
So basically you see that while talking to you, Samba suddenly trailed off and his eyes dart towards someone walking down the alley. He's a very attractive man, thin, slender, tall. And Samba is just staring at him walking away, and he has not paid attention to anything you said. Huh? What? Oh, sorry, I got distracted. My bad, friend. It's one of those things.
Yeah,
You
you man.
you see an attractive
Yeah,
person
kid.
and your brain short circuits.
Yeah, enjoy the sights, man. I cannot fault you that.
Anyway, you were saying about being friends. Well, I do feel like I don't have enough friends in my life. There is either lovers or enemies. There's no friends, and I have been trying to change that. So yeah, maybe this could be the. This
You
this could
can't
be the.
have too many, and you can't have too few. You just gotta find the right number, man. And it all starts with one.
Exactly. I'm very grateful for Boss Lamond to give us their house to operate from. Especially with, I didn't know that there would be so many colorful characters who would be joining this crew, but I don't know. It just feels like it's feels like the start of something really, really interesting and cool, And I've not had that in a very long time. So
Kinda be impossible to be white as paper to live in this city.
oh no, I didn't mean colorful as in like the color of their skin. I meant colorful as in like interesting, vibrant characters, not not the way we look. But I get what you mean. Yeah.
That be my meaning as well, man.
Right. So this contact of yours, are they trustworthy or are they like a bit of a shithead kind of thing situation?
I think she's does well for herself. She been all right with me so far. I would not call her friend, but she has been helpful. A good contact to have.
I think that's
And
important.
I would say this place would be would the crow's foot make sense?
Yeah, most certainly.
So a tavern in the crow's foot, run by Clera. It would be a very simple affair. It's a relatively cozy looking place, but considering it's right next to the docks, it always gets its fair share of like rowdy crowd. So it would have this very in like really scary looking bouncer type fellow, even though it's just like a tavern. But like, yeah, this guy makes sure like nothing crazy goes amok in the tavern. The tavern, I would say, would be called.
I have a suggestion.
Oh, please.
The Last Drop.
Perfect.
Yeah. As you walk up to the Last Drop, Big Daddy, it's odd to, because you are usually the largest person in a room, height and width wise. You feel a little small when you see Vlad, the big bouncer who stands in front of the Last Drop. Taikarosi, with intense features. He is a deathly white pale, almost bone ash color, and two horns that go straight up. He is wearing a very plain brown shirt, suspenders, black pants, and very utilitarian work boots. And it's he when you see him, he is actually throwing out a two troublemakers, and he is holding these two grown men by the lapels of their shirts or jackets, easily pulling them off, and just like throws Stay out if you know what's good for you. And then they immediately just like run off, and he claps his hand, and you can see that Vlad does not need knuckle dusters because his knuckles are massive crenellations of bone that just stand out. You do not want to get punched by this man. But he turns and he will look towards you and, Voodoo, long time no see.
A pleasure as always, Vlad, crusher of bones.
Flattery will get you everywhere. You want to see mistress?
Is the lady in?
She always be.
Then, if you would be so kind.
Of course. Who friend? Three little small men.
Samba is just stunned, like in awe. He just looks at this guy, looks over at Fenzin, and is like, I understand why this place is called the Last Drop, because all of the liquid went to this tall drink of water. Holy shit. Look at you. What is your name? Hi, I'm Samba, but you can call me Daddy.
He will kind of like.
Can I call you Daddy?
I was thinking that would be more appropriate.
I mean, I'm okay with whatever, however you want me, in front or behind, up or down, wherever we go.
That is for later, comrade. Now it is time for business. Voodoo usually never comes if not for some serious thing. But he will kind of pat your head because he is about 7'2" and like broader than you. So he'll kind of pat your head. Go in, Voodoo knows where. And he will open the door and he will give you a bit of a smolder, but like, yeah.
You know, I do my best to get him being patted on the head. So I'll see you on the way out.
We'll see. And there's a smirk as he turns off.
I just smile and tip my hat to Vlad, and I walk in.
Inside the Last Drop is its usual blend of chaos and music. There is a small little music performance going on where a woman in very strategic clothing is doing a very sultry song. There are caps and notes and everything thrown at the stage. There's a fight that is happening in the approved fighting pit, and at the queen of the position behind the bar stands Clyra. She is Akarosi, very slight figure, very thin. Think of a governess or someone who takes care of little children. It's that vibe. And she has this very large specs that do seem to amplify or magnify her eyes. And she is pouring a drink for somebody, but she sees you walking in and, Voodoo. Business or pleasure, lad?
Lady Clara, you look ever more glowing as every day passes.
And I have told you many times that flattery will not get you anywhere with me.
I understand, my lady. I do not flatter to get something. It is just formality before business.
I have to say, I do appreciate the politeness. Well, come on then. Roger, take care of the drinks. I have business to attend to. Oh, and look who it is. I think I've heard of you before. Looking towards you, Big Daddy.
Oh, hi. It is very lovely to know that my reputation precedes me. as does yours. You are even more lovelier than what Fenton described. It is great to make your acquaintance. I am Samba, or as my friends call me, Big Daddy.
That is still to be seen, but to business. And she will step up from behind the bar, and she has an apron that has "Don't fuck with me" written on it. And she will take it off and, like, hang it on a little peg and go into an office, inviting you in. Please take a seat.
Yep.
It's fairly utilitarian, but there seems to be a large shelf of lots of different books and ledgers, far more than what you would expect from a bar of such repute and size. But yeah. Now, how can I be of assistance?
As you probably already know, Great Laman's finances grow ever more finite. We are looking for business opportunities, and there may be one that we have identified, but we require a little bit more information.
Ah, yes, the Bleeding Heart Noble. It is unheard of for most of the aristocracy. What is the word? Aristocracy. No, fuck. Why is my brain not working?
Aristocracy?
Aristocracy. There we go. There we go. Thank you. It is difficult for many of the aristocracy to pretend to care. I look forward to seeing if they actually prove to be such an individual. But yes, finite finances are always a problem. What is the endeavor that you wish to embark on?
The electroplasm, it grows more scarce every day, and it seems the beasts be turning up even less. We want to know why.
She will look at you consideringly and start filling a pipe. Well, that is certainly a pressing issue that faces all of Duskwall. May I ask what you intend to do about it?
Well, we intend to, and I would appreciate your confidence in this, my lady.
Voodoo, you know as well as I do, I am an independent operator. I do not follow the coin, I follow the intent.
Right, of course. But we seek to be the majority source of electroplasm in an ideal world. But small steps.
Certainly ambitious uh, to have a target and as being the major supplier, especially given that I haven't heard much about you or your new endeavors. To aid this venture, how would a simple and humble tavern owner be of assistance?
Perhaps you have heard about why this situation be unfolding, why it be less, why the beasts not be turning up, why they coming back with less every day.
Well, I will say, and because this is information that has already been found through other sources,
Yeah.
she does tell you a basics of the situation, that the Leviathan hunter fleets have their hunting grounds are becoming increasingly barren, they have to start going out for further and further away to try and get leviathans and then their blood back to Duskwall. There is
Okay,
yeah.
I would try another angle.
Mhm.
Then let me ask you this, my lady. Have you had many, how do I say, those more attuned to the other side pass through?
Okay, on top of the table, pass through what?
Through the tavern.
Ah. How would you go about acquiring this information? What skill would you want to use?
Sway.
Give me a swear roll. You
Okay.
can, since Big Daddy is with you, you can be assisted in this. And I did want to point out earlier with Tileri and Thomas, right? William,
Yeah.
sorry, with
William.
Tileri and William. Which one of you assisted?
I assumed
I think I
that
assisted
Yeah,
Talon.
all right.
Yeah.
So assisted. So I will say that would be the point where William would have acquired his first stress point.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
So mark a stress point on your sheet.
So the way that assisting is meant to work is you get a stress and I get a die.
Yeah. So in this case, would Big Daddy be aiding Fenzin in his attempt?
Sure.
All right. Please mark a stress for yourself.
So do I roll an extra die?
You roll an extra die.
Okay. Ooh, okay, that's a 9.
No, you can't.
Highest, yeah, the highest number.
Single die.
Yeah.
So, so 4.
4. Okay.
How is 4 your highest if you have a 9?
He
was
he added
I
the
added.
numbers. He added the
Yeah,
numbers.
there was 2 dice, right?
No, I had
Yeah.
Oh,
3.
never mind. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah. Because he is the slide. He's good at the sway. With a 4, I have heard from a few people, those with eyes and ears on the other side, that a few unfortunate spirits have found themselves haunting a particular area of the docks. It is unclear as to how they came to be there. The spirit wardens should have gotten to their job a little earlier, but unfortunately, that had not happened. There are rumors of a particular spirit that wanders the docks. Could have some information that you could be looking into, especially given that I know that this was a Sparkrite when they were alive.
Would you be able to tell where in the docks this particular spirit be wandering?
It is closer to the Havisham and Roderick fleets. Around those warehouses in particular, it seems to wander. Not sure entirely why, but I have heard that there have been a few attacks. The spirit is restless, angry, as most of them tend to be. I would advise caution, Voodoo.
Always, madame. Always.
If you, by chance, happen to be successful in this endeavor of yours, I suppose we would have more conversation after that, yes?
Why, of course, my lady. You will always be in my mind.
I will say with that 4, um, you also notice that one of the letters that she has on her table, which she kind of ignored because she leaned back to kind of puff her pipe, is there was a letter with 2 crossed instruments, one being a shovel and one being a hammer. And it's not a symbol that you recognize, but it's it's certainly unique.
Mm, I just take like a mental note of it, and I don't like.
Yeah, I'd say you could. Um, all right, Toshi, just could you
Oh yeah.
mute yourself? Sorry, there was a lot of sound coming from your side. Yeah, I would say in that moment you could surreptitiously kind of point Big Daddy in the direction, like to nudge him to see that as well.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, I'll sort of like do like a grand gesture of thanks, and if I see Big Daddy's gaze is sort of trailed off again, and I'll sort of like use one of my other hands to like sort of grab his attention and then like point very quickly, and then
Okay.
yeah.
Uh, the spider, given your position and given your history, something about that symbol, the hammer and the spade crossed, sparks a little bit of memory. Um, this is something that kind of strikes you as a little odd, but you have heard rumors of um, a particular kind of group. They have been trying to keep as quiet as possible for the most part, but there is a group of union organizers that have dealings there and here and there. The yeah, the first union is what they're called, and apparently they are in touch with this lady as well. That is something
Is
that
that a good or a bad thing in my experience?
it's certainly odd that a union organization would be reaching out to a small tavern owner like this. And easily enough, I think, with your experience of such spidery things, you look again at Clara and you realize that you're looking at one of your own. This is a spider herself. And she has invited you into her parlor and provided some information. And you have taken one piece of information that she did not venture. But yeah. Well, if that is all that I can aid in the moment, will do, Mr. Big Daddy. I shall get back to my business.
Yep, I'll stand up, tip my hat to her.
She will also stand up and tip her head. I trust you know the way back. I need to get back to the bar. Roger always Rogers it up.
Of course, milady. Until next time.
She will come out and with you, and as you kind of walk out, there is a fight that breaks out, not in the approved fighting pit, and she just goes, "Oh dear, Vlad," and there is footsteps that start coming in as you walk out, and the cacophony is only added to by the sounds of breaking bone and but yeah, you are both outside the last drop, having
I just want
acquired
to
certain amount of
confirm one
Yeah.
thing.
Mhm.
When you mentioned that she's also another spider and she's given me this information and I gleaned something that I didn't. What is the implication of that, like mechanically?
Mechanically, nothing. The thing is, there was a piece of information on her table that you caught attention of, and she was not good enough to hide it from you. The First Union is in touch with this person. For what, you don't know, but you know that. And
Okay, and we've
from
not had
what
any
you
contact with the First Union yet.
know, and the First Union, furthermore, is you've heard some militant rumors about them. That much I would say.
Okay. I'm gonna, if I walk past Vlad on the way out, I will try to slip my contact details into his jacket.
I think, like, as you kind of go towards him, he is very involved in, like, he has one chap up by the scruff of his neck, and the bone knuckles are going. No, don't listen.
Okay, never mind
Listen.
then.
But yeah, you are outside of the last drop.
So would there be time to talk to her a little bit more, or are we done?
I would say I think we are done, because just on top of the table, how long can people go for? Because I am fine to continue, but what about the rest of you?
We've hit 4 hours. I think we should call it here.
Right?
Yeah, I was gonna say I hate to be a party pooper, but I don't have too much longer.
No. Fair
Need
enough.
to eat.
Yeah, that is perfect. So as the slide and the spider walk out of the last drop into the murky black of Duskwall, look to each other. The camera pans away and swoops up. Duskwall is festering. It is turbling. It is bubbling. Things are happening. And we shall see what you get up to next session. But yes, to all of our viewers who have been with us thus far, thank you very much. Before we quit, I will let my brilliant players give their outros. Let's go. Let's start with you know what? Let's go reverse order this time. Mr. Zahn.
Fucking did it again! I went last because you forgot about me! How dare you?
I went first this time, like the previous thing, but like, yeah, now we will go reverse.
Yeah. This is Zahn as Voodoo signing off. See ya next time.
Perfect. Steve.
Hello, hi, I'm Steve, also known as Sassy Pants. I run Pantsless tables and related things. Very excited to be here. I was playing Samba, Big Mob Daddy Falcon. Don't really have any announcements specifically, but I do have a thing that I would like to read out. We are launching merch at the most likely the end of this month, or probably going to be like second week of March at this point because we have been delayed. There's a lot of cool stuff happening. It is going to be Tales of Fate based merch, and it is going to go out for Indian and international audiences. Here is what I have to read out legally because I've been instructed by my friends, or well, not friends, but like people I'm working with to read this out. 70% of all profits we make are paid directly to creators as compensation for licensing their intellectual property. Whatever that means, you can infer on your own. They said they do not want any names being named, even though you know where exactly the money is going. But that's not the point. Yes, so all profits that we make are going to be shared because of the intellectual property rights with the players. And as we launch more and more merch, those merch opportunities will be distributed amongst the players for those games as well. So what I mean to say is in 6 months when we drop Blades of the Dark merch, you're all going to get a share of it. Yeah, anyway, that's all of that from me. Very excited about all the cool things happening, and we'll see you in 2 weeks for episode 2, baby.
Let's go. Person Callum.
This is not reverse order. This is just an order. You're just choosing randomly. Hello, I have been Callum. I'll continue to be Callum. You just won't see or hear me unless you find me over at Blue Sky as Theatre Callum. You can also find me not next week, but every Thursday after next week over House of Dreams, running Dead at Heart, my new Vampire the Masquerade campaign for 8 weeks, where hopefully I remember how that game functions. I'm going to have to read the rulebook tomorrow. I also occasionally write things, but most of the time I just spew nonsense on the internet. That is me. I can't afford to keep my blog up, so I can't advertise my blog.
All right. Urvi, you're up.
Howdy, thanks. Hi, I'm Irvy Fitz, and I've been Biv for you today. Hope you enjoy a weird little thing. You can find me across the internet if you enjoy other weird little things as Caesar Slod. Pretty much everywhere, or you can just type in Irvy Fitz. It's a lot easier, and I didn't think about it during the branding portion of my life. I'm the only one out there, though, so that's cool. But if you're ever interested in playing games with me, you can find me on Start Playing, where I'm a professional GM. I host games pretty regularly there, ? Otherwise, you can find me here on alternating Tuesdays doing this thing. And then, as aforementioned, on Shattered Tabletop Gaming every third Thursday throughout the year, where we're going to be playing a nice little wholesome game of Wild Sea. But as of right now, that's all, folks. So don't forget to check on your neighbors.
Always a good thing to do. Mr. Toshi. Muted.
My bad. You can. Hi everyone. Firstly, I was playing William today. If you wanna see him continue crying, curled up in a ball, you will see him here every Tuesday, like every alternate Tuesday, right? If you want to hear me rant about how shitty coffee is, you can find me at Coffee and Toast. But that's pretty much it. Thank you.
Let's go. And my favorite, Denver.
Hey y'all, I'm Denver. I played Vay Lamond, the Whisper, and you can find me on Blue Sky as Dendinius when I'm not here.
Let's go. Yeah, I have been your humble GM for the day. And for all the Blades of the Dark games that are currently running on Pantsless tables, it is, I'm not going to lie, I'm really looking forward to seeing what the two of your groups will do in this wonderful city that we have cooked up.
Did Steve not tell you there's another secret game tomorrow? And you're not running that one.
Ah! Oh, shit. Okay, I have lost all control. Fuck. Okay.
You're
But yeah.
playing in it. Just been told now. That's a joke.
Yeah.
Legally, I have to be told that's a joke.
Yep. We don't take things a lot of things seriously at Pantsless tables. It might be Steve's influence. Who knows? Eloquent shrug. But I am Adi MK, and all people on the internet can find me at Adi MK or Noon and Blue Sky, Noonlight Creations on Instagram, and I do run my own homebrew D&D campaign called The Tides of Atlantis, which usually happens on Thursday on Twitch at Noonlight Creations as well. I am, and you'll find me here at Pantsless Tables because, hey, I love this place and I love the table and I love everyone that comes to play with me because where else do you find a tribe of fellow role play enthusiasts as much as here? I will be joining a small thing on House of Dreams as well, because I will be part of the season 2 a
season's oath.
A season's oath. Yes, the second season I will be a guest.
I produced
performer.
that one.
Yes, indeed. I look forward to making Callum just go or groan even more there. But
You don't
let's
get to see me, unfortunately. I hide behind the tech box.
But yeah, Hector Okami will be our guide, I believe that's called, the GM position there. Really looking forward to that as well. But as always, you can find me here, the next Blades in the Dark game. But till then, love and stay in the shade, folks. It's much more sexy. Cheers. Bye.